Thank you, Alex. It's not the game either nation wanted, but there are compelling reasons to try and shake off the disappointment of semi-final defeat and finish on the podium. This could be the last time Croatia's aging greats are seen on this global stage, while Morocco can continue to make history for Africa and the Arab world at the very highest level. Both teams are showing evidence of injuries following their losses in the semi-finals. 3 changes for Morocco. Saiz, Mazraoui and Unahi are the players who make way. Atiat Allah Sabiri and a debut for Bilal Al-Kanous, the 18-year-old in midfield. It is Bunu in goal, Hakimi, El Yamik, Dari and Atiat Allah the back 4. 3 in midfield, Sabiri, Amrabat and Al-Kanous, with Ziyech, Boufal and then Nasiri in attack. The 2 captains, Modric and Ziyech, meeting with our Qatari referee Abdurrahman Al Yassim in the centre circle. 5 changes for Croatia. They've got injuries as well, Juranovic and Sosa. The 2 fullbacks are both missing. Other players to make way, Lovren, Brozovic and Pasalic. There are World Cup debuts for Josip Stanic and Josip Sotalo. It is Lavakovic in goal, Stanisic, Sotalo, Gvardiol and Perisic the back 4, Kovacic, Maya and Modric in midfield, Kramaric, Lavaya and Orsic in attack. And it's another record-breaking day for the genius at the heart of the midfield, Luka Modric, for Croatia. It is his 7th game in this World Cup and ever present, his 19th in total, and he becomes the oldest outfield player to play as many games in a single World Cup. The aging goalkeepers Peter Shilton and Dino Zoff were the only men who are currently older in World Cup history to have produced a similar accomplishment. Decent crowd inside the Khalifa International Stadium, and as has been the way in recent times in this World Cup, the Moroccan supporters are here in force once again. And it's Croatia who will get the game underway. They are the home team here this evening in their red and white checkerboard shirts. Morocco in their dark red shirts, green shorts and dark red socks. This an opportunity for Africa to leave a World Cup with a medal for the first time. But there are so many legends on this Croatian team looking to leave their final World Cup on a high note. The 3rd place playoff is underway on TalkSport. The only place on UK radio you can hear this game is here today. We'll also keep you up to date with all the goals as they go in from a decimated programme due to the weather in the EFL and beyond today. Over on TalkSport 2, underway at what I'm sure is a very cold Turf Moor. Burnley against Middlesbrough. A big game in the Championship today with Adam Bridge and Neil Redfern as Croatia look to try and build on this near side, but El Yamik, who has had an excellent tournament since coming into the Moroccan defence in the game against Portugal, comes across to make a challenge, and it will be a throw-in for Croatia on this near side, their right. And it's one of the stadiums which has the crowd a fair distance from the pitch due to a running track. Stanisic loops a long throw into the penalty area, headed away by Atiat Allah at that near post. And now Sotalo for Croatia, back into the centre circle for the man in the mask, Josko Gvardiol, but no mistaking his quality throughout this World Cup. Croatia now looking to build on the far side with Kovacic, infield towards Modric again, and it was noticeable there that as soon as Modric got on the ball, Croatia almost retreated as a single unit because they're aware that if they maybe try and press, he is capable of just picking that past Stewart and they could be in real trouble.
Yeah, certainly are. Morocco have formed that solid barrier that we so often see from them, and a talking point beforehand.
It's a cross into the penalty area, is headed away at the near post for Morocco, and they will now try and clear long downfield, but they almost make heavy weather of that before a ball back into the penalty area from Nasiri, and then there's chaos there, almost an own goal. Ashraf Dari and the goalkeeper Yasin Bunu almost made a real mess of that. And Bunu played the ball right across his own goal, almost put the ball in at the far post.
Well, that could have been one of the most bizarre own goals you've ever seen in your life. The defender stretching for it, kept it in play, and then Bunu was trying to find his left back and scalped one just past the far post.
3 minutes played, 0-0 here on TalkSport. Lovro Majer with the first corner kick for Croatia, and already our Qatari referee, who has only done one previous game, USA against Wales in the opening round of group games, he's trying to sort out some nonsense at the far post. Majer's ball in is fisted clear by Bunu. Then there's another missed kick across the Moroccan penalty area. The ball is still alive there. Dari heads the ball up in the air, and Nasiri with a second header away. Here is Modric, but the whistle has gone, and Morocco just need to try and settle down. Ashraf Dari was the player who was fouled inside the penalty area.
The game started with quite a tempo at the moment, Nigel. Mistakes are plenty in the back line of Morocco, and for a team going into the semi-final of a competition, Morocco, with a reputation of being very tight defensively, they were anything but in the semi-final, and it looks as though they'll be anything but in this third and fourth place playoff.
Well, these two sides met in their first group game at Al Bat on November the 23rd, which now feels an age away, and they drew 0-0. Both teams had 2 shots on target. Croatia enjoyed 65% of the possession, but couldn't break down what was a very durable Moroccan team that day. Looking down the list of third place playoff, this is often where the goals really flow towards the end of World Cups, and there has never been a goalless draw, and both teams do tend to score. That's happened in 13 of the 19 editions. No goals in any of the 3 o'clock games currently underway in the EFL. Celtic beating Aberdeen by 1-0 earlier on to move 9 points clear of Rangers once again at the top of the Scottish Premier League. And they enjoyed 81% possession at Pittodrie today and outshot Aberdeen 33-2. So the goal came late from Callum McGregor, but it was probably deserved as Croatia try and build on the far side, but the ball forward is overhit, and Ashraf Hakimi will take a throw-in for Morocco. Goalless here in the early stages. Croatia looking to win their second third-place game in their first World Cup as an independent nation. They beat the Netherlands in 1998 thanks to goals from Prosinecki and Suka. And of course, Morocco are the first African team in a third-place playoff, and only the second team from outside of Europe or South America to get this far in a World Cup, following South Korea back in 2002 when they lost against Turkey. And the way that Morocco have started here defensively, Stuart, you get the feeling there may be goals here today.
Well, certainly with the goalkeeper's distribution early on in the game, no doubt about that. And just touching on Croatia's formation, there was a bit of speculation Croatia might line up with a 3 at the back, but that's certainly not the case. It's almost a 4-2-3-1 scenario with I think Kramaric playing just behind Livaja. Is that the correct pronunciation, Nigel?
We can go with Levira if you want.
I'll leave it with you.
Early goal in League One. Derby 1, Forest Green 0. Nathaniel Mendes-Lang at Pride Park. And we'll be round the championship grounds as and when this afternoon. But Croatia have a free kick midway inside the Morocco half, and Luka Modric is over it. Looks to be too far out for a shot, but Yasin Bunu is a long way off his line here. But it's flighted in, high into the penalty area, headed across the face of goal, and then headed in, and it's a brilliant goal from Josko Vardiol, and what a set piece that was from Croatia. They worked that brilliantly. Vardiol was on the end of it, and Croatia have the early lead in the third place playoff.
Well, as you rightly said, magnificently worked. It was probably too central to be chipped straight into the box as a cross, but Modric went over the top of it. It was chipped in, the back line not the best, and it was Dari who just playing everybody onside, set back, and then Gvardiol enhancing his reputation. Perisic just lofted a header back, kept it alive, and the placement was magnificent by Gvardiol.
Only his second international goal in his 19th appearance. A brilliant header. And if they've been working on the training ground on that, it was carried out there to perfection when it really matters. And Croatia are a goal up in the third place playoff, and when Morocco conceded an early goal against the French in the semi-final, they then went hell for leather. If they do that, it's going to be a great game. It
certainly will. I'd say that early goal in the semi-final brought them out, and off they went. And we're just looking at another non-bookable offence according to the referee.
Al-Khanous. Al-Khanous was fouled by Gvardiol, and it will be a free kick now for Morocco. Hakimi and Ziyech are over it. 8 minutes played here on Talk Sport. Croatia leading Morocco by a 1-0. Ziyech with the free kick into the near post. It's flicked on and headed towards goal and straight in. And Ashraf Dari has the equaliser. It was flicked on by a Croatian head, and Dari completely unmarked, guiding the header in from close range, and Morocco wasting very little time before coming up with the equalising goal. What a moment for Ashraf Dari, his first international goal, and it's Croatia 1, Morocco 1.
Yeah, Levaret was at the near post area, just too advanced in his position, got sucked under the ball slightly, and his header just looped up. It was actually perfection, and it was that man Dari who was potentially responsible for the goal against moments earlier, where his deep line position was there in the 6-yard box, going in brave on the goalkeeper. 1-1. Well,
we did say that both teams tend to score in the third place playoff, and it's happened already here with less than 10 minutes played on Talk Sport, and the central defenders are finding their range. Gvardiol for Croatia and Dari for Morocco, and it's 1-1 with 9.5 minutes played, and now it's Croatia's turn to attack. What a start to this game, as the shot is whistled in from the left hand side from Orsic, and it's high and wide, and it will be a goal kick. And we've got two teams here that have produced some of the most entertaining games in the World Cup, in different ways of course, and they've come together here in the third place playoff, and it's been a brilliant start to the game, and the Moroccan supporters who are dominating the stadium.
Well, looking at both sets of fans now, both have been brought to the party, and the decibels have gone right up in the stadium at the moment.
1 minute 52 seconds between the two goals, and it's 1-1 here already. And Morocco looking to attack with Sofiane Boufal down this left hand side, coming in field, and now lofted wide towards the far side, but the ball eventually just skips out of play. It was worked further wide by Sabiri, but it took a deflection, and it will be a throw-in for Morocco. Now Hakimi with a low ball in, blocked by Modric, and now Kramaric for Croatia. Oh, it's given the ball away to Ziyech, who goes down on the edge of the penalty area, but Morocco quickly win it back. A neat triangle of possession. El-Khanous, the 18-year-old, on his international debut, on the far side, plays a 1-2 with Hakimi, and then gives the ball away, and Croatia are able to clear. More goals going in League One. Bolton 1, Exeter 0. Conor Bradley with the opening goal there. And in League 2, one of the few games being played in the fourth tier, Swindon lead at Barrow by a 0-0 thanks to a penalty from Louis Reed. Here, inside the Khalifa Stadium, our wall-to-wall coverage of the World Cup continues on Talk Sport, and it's been a great start to the game. Croatia 1, Morocco 1 in the third place playoff, of course. Coming up tomorrow from 1 o'clock, the World Cup final. Messi against Mbappe, Argentina against France, and Stuart will be alongside Adrian Durham and Jim Proudfoot for commentary on that game. Over on Talk Sport 2 at the moment, it is Burnley against Middlesbrough, 0-0 in the early stages there. Norwich against Blackburn is coming up with Ollie Klink and Adrian Clark at 5:30, fourth against third at Carrow Road. A low ball played into the penalty area now for Croatia on this near side from Stanisic, and it's scrambled clear, but good to see, Stuart Pearce. Both teams have come out to play here.
Yeah, quite often the case, certainly going back in my experience, that third and fourth place game, the pressure of the World Cup is off you in some ways, and you play with a bit more gay abandon, and certainly the fans, it's almost a carnival atmosphere at this stage.
And here is an opportunity for Croatia to break again with Meyer, but he clips it in field to the captain, Luka Modric, playing his 162nd international game for Croatia today, but at the age of 37, it is surely his final one in a World Cup. But he remains a legend and will be remembered along with the likes of Prozinecki and Suka, who scored previously for Croatia in knockout games, as Endesiri is getting some instruction from his coach Walid Regragui on the touchline. Endesiri only touched the ball 3 times in that semi-final against the French. Stuart, you look surprised by that, but can you remember him being involved?
No, I can't, and he's a player I watched quite a bit over the last 2 years, I've got to say, and I know his threat, having played against him at West Ham, not literally but on the coaching staff, and I know he's a real threat, and I don't think they played to his strengths, and you saw that in the round before with a headed goal that got them through.
14 minutes played, 1-1 here. Live from Doha on Talk Sport, your World Cup station, as Croatia try and come forward again now. Stanisic with a shot, but he was quickly closed down on the edge of the penalty area as he struck it, and as a result it squirted high over the crossbar. But again, it was given away by Morocco in a dangerous area in the build-up to that, on the edge of their own box. We've already seen them almost score a comical own goal, beaten by a set piece before they responded with a poorly defended one of their own from a Croatian point of view. 15 minutes played, 1-1, as Morocco try and play it forward again, but they've given the ball away. Infield from Perisic, wide on the far side, the left, and now there is an opportunity for Levaya to break, and he plays the early ball in, and he almost picked out Kramaric, but it was a good sliding challenge from Dari to prevent the ball from finding him. And now Morocco will try and play out, and the crowd get behind them as Elkanous looks to find Boufal, but he allows the ball to run, and Sabiri has got the opportunity now to check in field and assess his options. It's back towards Amrabat. The pass though was a bit short. It's won back by Maya. Atiatalo was the player who was shortchanged by that, and now Morocco will have to get back because Orsic will play it wide to the far side, the left, and the challenge eventually comes in inside the penalty area on Levaya from Hakimi, and it's only a corner, but it could have been so much worse for Morocco.
I'll tell you what, it's such an open game at the moment. Both teams, as soon as they get it, one thought on their mind, get forward as quickly as they possibly can. And Morocco being the culprits more so than Croatia, giving away a possession, trying to play out.
16 minutes played on Talk Sport. Croatia won, Morocco won in the third place playoff at the 2022 World Cup. Modric will take the corner kick on the far side, the Croatian left, in towards the near post, where it's volleyed clear by Bilal Elkanous. Some day for him at the age of 18, making his World Cup debut, Morocco's youngest ever player at this level. And it was 0-0 in the group stage, but very quickly both teams on the score sheet here today, and there's been an average of nearly 4 goals a game in third place playoffs down the years, and this game at the moment is heading for something similar. Europe has won 16 of the previous games. South America has enjoyed 3 successes, and Europe have won the last 10 third place playoffs, going back to Brazil's victory over Italy in 1978. Now Sutalo for Croatia, infield again to Modric, who is coming very deep to try and orchestrate for the Croatians at times. Forward again, but then it's quickly won back, but the ball from Endesiri almost takes a deflection off Sabiri, and it's gathered by Modric. Quickly forward towards Maya, but a good challenge from Amrabat. He's made so many of those in the tournament. Clever turn now from Elkanous, and the 18-year-old has used the ball well to find Atiatala down the left-hand side. Now Boufal takes over, but he's challenged by Kramaric, and there are possibilities here for Croatia on the break, and they've rather been sucked towards the ball, Morocco, and as a result the shot comes in from Orsic, but it was eventually blocked. But Croatia have it back again now. Perisic down the left, crossed in, Kramaric with a header, and this time it's into the arms of Yasin Bunu.
Yeah, it's mistake after mistake. We've given away a possession which is encouraging the opposition strike force there, and the referee, I thought, was going to give a foul in the build-up, put the whistle to his mouth, and then decided it wasn't. And in the end, it was a tame effort on goal.
17 minutes played, Croatia 1, Morocco 1. Live on Talk Sport, with the World Cup final coming up from 1 p.m. tomorrow, as Morocco get a free kick for a challenge on Hakim Ziyech. And domestic football at the highest level gets underway again with the Carabao Cup. We have 3 games next week for you on Talk Sport, starting on Tuesday night, Newcastle against Bournemouth. Wednesday, Manchester United against Burnley. Then on Thursday, Manchester City against Liverpool. All those games from the Carabao Cup live on Talk Sport, as Boufal tries to cross from the right hand side, but it's overhit beyond Endesiri. Boufal apologises, and it will be a goal kick. But it has been an extremely watchable game so far inside the Khalifa Stadium, as Maya plays the ball in field once again for a player making his World Cup debut, Josip Stanisic of Bayern Munich. The player born in Germany but representing Croatia. As it's won back by Ziyech on this near side, but it spins into the path of Sotalo. And Croatia, when they've moved the ball around, have done so very comfortably in the opening 20 minutes or so far. But commentators curse as Luka Modric, of all people, plays it straight out of play on the far side, and Achraf Hakimi will take a throw-in for Morocco. And the Premier League returns only on Talk Sport on national radio on Boxing Day. And our first game at 12:30 will be Brentford against Tottenham. We will have every single Premier League commentary from the Boxing Day round, 26th, 27th and 28th of December. And we will have 10 commentaries in total on Boxing Day from the Premier League and the EFL. And looking further afield into 2023, there will be 9 games from the FA Cup third round in early January. It's going to be a very, very busy start to the year across the TalkSport network. If you download the app, you can check the live commentary section and swipe between whichever games you want to listen to. 21 minutes played here, and it's 1-1 between Croatia and Morocco in this third place playoff. A high ball wide towards the far side again, and it's headed in field and then gathered by Dominic Livakovic. We were having a chat on the way here today, ourselves and Alex, about the best goalkeeper in the tournament so far, and I think Livakovic will be in the conversation, wouldn't he, Stuart?
Yeah, he certainly will be. He'd be in the top 3 or 4, I would suspect. I think both teams that have got a goalie in the final would probably have a say in that as well, I would imagine.
Goal in Scotland, Hearts 1, Kilmarnock 0, Josh Ginnelly at Tynecastle. A reminder, Celtic 9 points clear of Rangers once again. Late winner from Callum McGregor at Aberdeen in a game they utterly dominated. No goals in any of our featured games in the Championship so far. But we've had 2 here. As Sotalo brings it forward for Croatia on this near side there, right back in field again towards Modric. Everything going through him at the moment. Now Kovacic inside the centre circle, lofted wide to the left hand side. Perisic leaping, straining every sinew, but he's unable to keep the ball in play, and it will be a throw-in for Morocco as David McGoldrick has put Derby 2 up against Forest Green at Pride Park in League One. Hakimi will take the throw-in here in Doha, and there is a Mexican wave already sweeping around the stadium despite the entertainment on the field. El Canus infield towards Hakimi on the edge of his penalty area, and once again Bruno was encouraged by his defenders to play out from very close to his own goal, but he manages it with a higher degree of comfort this time than he did previously, but it breaks down for Morocco, midway inside the Croatian half, and it's back with Livakovic once again. 23 minutes played, 1-1.
I think with a slightly better press from Croatia, they should be able to turn the ball over from Morocco. As you rightly said there, Nigel, they're looking a little bit loose with some of the play across the back line.
Adrian Durham is elsewhere in the stadium today, and he's just informed us that a Morocco fan just in front of him proposed to his girlfriend at the start of the game.
Thought you were going to say propose to him.
That would have been a story for Mrs. Durham, if nobody else. Anyway, we'll bring you news on that marriage proposal if and when we have it here on TalkSport. Oh, I'm getting the thumbs up. She said yes.
He's with Jim Proudfoot in the stadium as well. Maybe Jim as a bridesmaid potentially.
Apparently Jim's saying you don't know what you're doing, which is slightly harsh. As Croatia come forward again now on the edge of the penalty area, but it's defended well, and Morocco then give the ball away again. It was a loose ball on the edge of the penalty area, then a clearance at the far post is straight to Lovro Majer. Here is Modric now, 20 yards out right hand side, chops back onto the left foot, fires it low, Bunu fumbles, then on the ground he manages to scoop the ball away, and Boufal will try and clear, but he's closed down by Gvardiol. And how on earth did Morocco survive that?
Nigel, Morocco have not made that amount of mistakes in the whole tournament at the back, playing out, than they have so far in this game. Quite incredible, really. It's players with no pressure on them. They know the game is not a must-win game, let's say, and the ability to attempt to play out in areas where you shouldn't is evident for all to see.
In League One, Charlton lead Bristol Rovers by a goal to nil. Ryan Innes at the Valley as Majer comes forward again for Croatia, but he's challenged by his opposite number, Hakim Ziyech, and it was a good challenge as well, and then eventually the ball just spins out of play on this near side. On the monitor we're watching that shot from Modric, went right through the legs of Ashraf Dari, which may be unsighted Yasin Bunu. He did well though, because Labaya was coming in to apply the finishing touch, and on the ground he reached across and just managed to pat the ball away from him, the Sevilla goalkeeper. Walid Regragui is on the edge of his technical area once again in the dark suit and white trainers, which is a look I don't think I'll be adopting when I go home. Now wide on the far side again. Here is an opportunity for Amrabat. Now Dari, the goal scorer for Morocco, less than 2 minutes after Gvardiol giving Croatia the lead. Here is Majer on the break into the penalty area, but he's closed down again by Ati Atalla. He's looked a really good player, the left back, when he started games for Morocco, but he commits a foul there, just bowling over Stanisic, and it will be a free kick for Croatia, wide on this near side, the right.
Once again that attack started there by a loose pass from Morocco, and Majer should have done a lot better, to be fair. He was driving into the box, then didn't trust his lack of pace and decided to veer out. He'd have been better off cutting across the front of Allah and trying to commit a penalty from him.
Free kick for Croatia. Modric and Majer are over it, and it's Majer who will whip this ball in left-footed, flicked on again, and there were appeals for offside. It was Perisic who was on the end of it, but the ball ballooned high over the top as Jed Wallace gives West Brom the lead against Rotherham in the Championship at the Hawthorns. But here on TalkSport at the Khalifa Stadium in Doha, 26 minutes played, Croatia 1, Morocco 1 in the third place playoff, as Bunu again is given the ball on the edge of his own 6-yard area. He finds Amrabat, who throws a couple of shapes to evade Kramaric, and Morocco will try and build with Ati Atalla on this near side, and Amrabat not lacking confidence there.
Yeah, every time you make a point that Morocco are taking chances playing out, they just emphasise that point by doing it in a more ridiculous position.
Yeah. But they've got some very good technicians. Sofian Amrabat currently with Fiorentina, but I'm sure at the age of 26 we'll see him moving up the footballing food chain before too long. Croatia so far with 6 attempts on goal, 3 on target. Morocco have had 1, and they scored with it. Ashraf Dari's header. 27 minutes played. Croatia 1 and Morocco 1. We've got The World Cup final coming up tomorrow from 1 o'clock on TalkSport. Stuart alongside Adrian and Jim from the Lusail Stadium for that one. And that is going to be some occasion with all of those Argentinian fans trying to will Lionel Messi on to his World Cup victory, as a long ball is played forward for Croatia once again. But it's high out of play. There will be a throw-in for Morocco. Bolton now 2 up on Exeter in League One. Dion Charles with the second. Ati Atala with the throw-in for Morocco here. 1-1 inside the Khalifa Stadium. Both goals inside the opening 10 minutes. Croatia briefly ahead here on TalkSport. Alcanus plays the ball in field, and it's guided back by El Yamek and eventually cleared long downfield by Yasin Bunu, and it's allowed to bounce, but a free kick's been given for some pushing and pulling in Croatia's favour on the halfway line. And we had a discussion before kick-off, Stuart, about why Luka Modric was possibly underrated in the English game, and do you think it was simply because he was playing for a team that didn't win regular trophies?
Potentially that might have been some of it. I just think his development as well. I think he's developed as a better player as time's gone on.
Now Ziyech looking to play the ball forward for Hakimi. He breaks into the penalty, a low ball in, and it was just behind En-Nesyri, who was unmarked, 4 yards out. Hakimi has hands to his face. He knows a better delivery, and En-Nesyri would have surely scored.
Yeah, great wing play there. Hakimi got near enough to the touchline, probably a metre away, and you can see En-Nesyri, he goes in, then he holds his run, he comes out, he goes in, and in the end the cross has just evaded him. It's probably about 2 yards behind him. I've just been watching Amrabat here playing the game, and he's playing in that deep line central midfield hole. And either side of him, he's got Kramaric on his right-hand side, he's got Modric on his left-hand side, and just to watch him scanning across that back line is incredible, you know.
He's doing it now as he makes his way across to the far side to try and cut off the route to goal for Mislav Orsic, but Hakimi will win it back, and the flag was raised for offside anyway. And we talk about things being underrated. The way he plays is underrated in terms of just doing that covering and trying to firefight before the issue actually becomes apparent.
Well, I think a lot's been made about Morocco's defensive prowess, Nige. If you've got a really good defensive midfield player that can screen the front of your centre-backs, and just looking at him, he screens across, he knows what's at either side of him, and he works tirelessly to slide across those little finite 5 yard here, 5 yard there, tempting people to play a ball knowing full well you can cut it out.
And there has been a goal in one of our featured games in the Championship, Coventry against Swansea, and Jeff Peters.
And Coventry have the lead here, 1-0. It's been scored by Jonathan Panzo, turning the ball in from a corner. Coventry have been the better side, and they're now in front. Coventry 1, Swansea 0.
Thanks, Jeff. Hearts now leading Kilmarnock by 2-0 in Scotland. Lawrence Shankland with the second goal at Tynecastle. Elsewhere in the Championship, West Brom still leading Rotherham by 1-0. Derby 2 up on Forest Green Rovers in one of the surviving games in League One. As a high ball is played forward again, Ian Abrahams is watching Wickham against the leaders Ipswich for us, as Croatia try and build, but Yasin Bunu will allow the ball just to bobble behind it. It will be a goal kick, and it seems here that both teams have managed to shake off the disappointment of what happened in midweek in their semi-finals. Croatia's heaviest ever defeat in a World Cup game, 3-0 against Argentina, and of course Africa's first World Cup semi-final ended in a rather unlucky defeat in many ways for Morocco, 2-0 against the French, the only time they've been behind before today at this World Cup. And they kept 4 clean sheets in the competition, and we've spoken about their defensive prowess. That was really evident in the opening game against Croatia, which finished 0-0. It's been a bit looser today perhaps, but it's been a good deal more entertaining as Ziyech shakes off the challenge of Modric and plays it wide to this near side, and Boufal. Ati Atala is in support on the overlap, and he now receives it level with the edge of the penalty area, back to the youngster El Kanous, who's done really well so far. Here is Boufal again, attacking the penalty area. Finds back towards El Kanous, and then Boufal with a shot from close range. As he lost his balance, he claims a corner, but a goal kick has been given, and the Moroccans are surrounding the referee, and their reaction suggesting there was a deflection there, Stuart.
Well, they're incensed, but the trouble is you can't get round a referee like that. On another World Cup, on another tournament, there would have been a lot of bookings being had. For some reason, and I don't know why, the referees have had a directive not to book anybody or send anyone off. Just looking at the replay of that again, and he was wrong. They were actually wrong. It was a goal kick.
Yeah, the ball was played by Sotalo onto Boufal, and our Qatari referee, who had a fairly patchy game in the USA-Wales encounter at the start of the group stage, made the right decision there. As Croatia look to come forward again now on the far side there left. 1-1 here on TalkSport, your World Cup station, with 34 minutes played at the Al Khalifa Stadium. And Croatia have dominated so much of the possession so far and the chances, but now they've given the ball away, and Amrabat quickly finds Ziyech, and Ziyech turns because he knows that Hakimi would be wide of him down the right hand side, but Gvardiol again reading that situation to get across and make the challenge.
Yeah, it slid across really well there, went to ground, so he had to win possession of the ball, but once again, as soon as they turn defence into attack, Morocco, Hakimi's on his bike.
Well, there's no doubt that Gvardiol will be a contender for the team of the tournament. He has been excellent, and at the age of 20 he has a massive career ahead of him. Now Ati Atalla on the move for Morocco, a back heel in field, looking for Boufal down the left, but it's eventually cleared away on this near side by Sotalo, and it will be a throw-in for Morocco. Two very early goals here on TalkSport. The first from Croatia, Morocco with the quick response, and it's 1-1 as we head towards half-time. Nahki Wells has given Bristol City the lead against Stoke in the Championship. As Morocco do get a free kick now, Sabiri, the player who was caught by Gvardiol, just got a bit too tight for him, and it's a free kick for Morocco down their left. And Sabiri is over it. Livakovic maybe thinking about something approximating a wall. Sabiri was on the set pieces when Morocco really announced their intentions here with that victory against Belgium in their second group game, but he retreats, and Ziyech will take this. And again, there is plenty of height forward here for Morocco, including their previous goal scorer Ashraf Dari. The free kick high to the far post, but it's headed away well by Perisic, and it will be a throw-in for Morocco down their right.
Yeah, line dropped really well there, and it's Perisic who ended up getting a glancing header out.
But Hakimi will take the throw-in down the line, looking for Boufal down the right, flick back towards Hakimi, swept into the near post, and Endesiri was on the move once again, and it was a very timely challenge by Sotalo, and Morocco have their first corner.
I feel a little bit sorry for Endesiri. I know how good he is in the air, but I've not seen, certainly over the last this game and the last game, any quality into the box that's given him encouragement to go and win good headers.
And Morocco quickly win their second corner. It was played short there by Ziyech towards Boufal, but it's now guarded behind by Modric. And we have 9 minutes to play in the first half here. And this time Ziyech will play this ball in towards Endesiri, who wins the header this time, and it glides right across the face of goal and behind.
Well, there's a point in case there. Decent ball in the box, Endesiri on the move, and once he gets a run on you, it's near enough impossible to beat him in the air. Flicked it on, but there was no one at the far post, just a glance in.
In League One, Portsmouth 0, MK Dons 1. Bradley Johnson with the opening goal there. There's also been a goal in South Wales. Here's Chris Hull.
Yeah, 36 minutes, Nigel. Cardiff 1, Blackpool 0. Keon Atete lobbing over the Pool goalkeeper Dan Grimshaw, following Callum Robinson's delicious ball with the outside of his right boot to set it up. It's Cardiff 1, Blackpool 0.
And a reminder, it is still goalless at Turf Moor between Burnley and Middlesbrough. Live on TalkSport 2 with Norwich against Blackburn coming up on the home of the EFL at 5:30. This remains a game which looks to be full of goals. We will have extra time and penalties if necessary. That's only happened once in a third place playoff. Extra time, that is, when France beat Belgium 4-2 in Mexico in 1986. But the Moroccan supporters on their feet in many parts of the stadium, right behind their team here as Modric under pressure from En-Nesyri plays it back towards Gvardiol once again. Now Kovacic takes over in the centre circle, spread wide to the left hand side, and Perisic will try and keep the ball in play, but Hakimi comes across just to slide in, and Croatia will have a throw in on the far side, their left.
Yeah, Hakimi there just misjudged the ball, got underneath it, and Perisic got the other side of him, but fortunately for him he was able to get back and recover his position.
Now Gvardiol, and again Amrabat I think is looking around to see where Modric is. Well, he knows he's on the left hand side because he has the ball now, but the cross in looking for Lavia is scrambled clear. Perisic with a deeper crossing. Kramaric was shaping to try and apply the finish, but it's volleyed clear by Ashraf Dari. Now Kovacic once again floated wide to this near side, and Lovro Majer helped on to Stanisic, and he's quickly closed down by Boufal, and both players appeal for the decision, and it goes Morocco's way, and it will be a goal kick.
Yeah, the incredible thing about these World Cups, Nigel, is the memories that we'll take away from the Moroccan fans that have come in absolute thousands to this. I remember being in Red Square 4 or 5 years ago, and there was about 20,000 Peruvians there on that occasion, you know, and the fans just give you great memories, they really do.
I think alongside the Tunisians and the Argentinians, the Moroccans have more supporters around the souk and elsewhere in Doha than any other team. And it's been really good to see. They've been really good-natured and enjoyed the experience. As Sabiri plays it wide towards the far side in League One. Barnsley 1, Burton Albion 0. Devante Cole with the opening goal at Oakwell. Ziyech comes forward again now for Morocco. Oh, he's gone beyond Modric, fires the ball in wide of the near post, and I think Hakim Ziyech would have enjoyed that because he left Luka Modric standing.
Yeah, he certainly did. Went to go outside him, then cut inside, goal opened up, and to be fair, I think it was a little too much distance between him and the goal to really cause a problem.
Now Gvardiol for Croatia, who scored their goal very early on here. In towards Mateo Kovacic. And the Chelsea midfielder so often remains under the radar in games like this, but is always offering something. Now Gvardiol again. Wide towards Satalo. He looks to switch it wide to the left-hand side with a high diagonal ball. Orsic, though, controls, but under pressure from Hakimi, runs it out of play. And it will be a throw-in for Morocco, midway inside their own half, and Hakimi continues to be a real team leader here for his team. He's transferred to this near side, the left, and Ati Atala, and he tries to pick up Boufal, but it's over here. But Boufal with a thumbs up to Ati Atala, and Ati Atala, one of the home base players in the team, plays for Riyadh Casablanca, who under Wale Regragui, they won the African Champions League last season. And it's easy to forget that Regragui only took this job at the end of August after Valid Holohodzic was sacked. But clearly he gets his message across very quickly. As Croatia look to build again now on the edge of the penalty area. Lovro Majer, square is Stanisic on his World Cup debut, back towards Majer again. Majer though was closed down by El Kanous on his international debut. He's then given the ball away to Lavia, and Perisic with the lob. Oh, what a brilliant goal! Mislav Orsic makes it 2-1, and that was measured to perfection for Croatia. Once again Morocco unable to keep the ball away from their goal for a sufficient spell. And Orsic, given the opportunities, it broke him down the left-hand side, gently lofted it over the head of Yasin Bunu, in off the far post, and it's Croatia 2, Morocco 1.
Yeah, the opportunity was nearly lost there. It was Maya taking an eternity on the ball, half lost the ball. Morocco give it away again in a really poor area right on the edge of their box, and when it arrived on the left-hand side, Orsic just opened his body up and just chipped one, and it seemed to take an absolute eternity. Goalkeeper just got fingertips on it, onto the inside of the post. 2-1.
Mislav Orsic makes it 2-1 here. There's also been an opening goal in League One in our feature game at Adams Park. Here's Ian Abrahams.
It's Wickham 1, Ipswich the leaders 0. Brilliant individual goal by Brandon Hanlon. Picked the ball up right hand side just outside the penalty area, went between two players, 6 yards out, digged it over the keeper. Wickham 1, Ipswich 0.
Thanks, Ian. A reminder, in the Championship over on TalkSport 2, Burnley against Middlesbrough is ongoing. 0-0 there at Turf Moor at the moment. Here, Croatia lead Morocco by 2-1, 2 minutes before half-time on TalkSport. And we have seen another goal to remember from Croatia in this tournament.
I think they've just paid the price, Nige, for giving the ball away too cheaply, too readily in their last third. And as I say, that was the last of about probably 4 or 5 times that they give the ball away cheaply, and they paid the penalty severely on that occasion.
And Mislav Orsic with only his second international goal in his 27th appearance. Now, an opportunity again inside the penalty area here for Levaya, and eventually the ball just spins out of play. Ashraf Dari doing just enough, and it will be a goal kick. But there could be more goals in this one, the way the game is shaping up, and of course Morocco will have to try and go for it in the second half if it stays like this at half-time, and we saw them do that to very good effect in the game against the French, but they just couldn't apply the finishing touch. And both of Orsic's goals have come in major tournaments. His previous one was in that dramatic game at Euro 2020 when Croatia lost 5-3 to Spain. Now Gvardiol for Croatia just checks back and finds Kovacic once again. And the Croatian supporters making themselves heard inside the stadium now as we head towards half-time, leading by 2-1. And I'm sure Morocco will come up with renewed intent in the second half. A minimum of 2 more minutes here. Modric forward again, looking for the run of Orsic, and then Modric sliding in as the ball just broke down for Croatia, unable to keep the ball in play, and it will be a throw-in for Morocco. And Walid Regragui is already very animated on the edge of his technical area, the Moroccan coach, as Sabiri is fouled by Kovacic, and it will be a free kick for Morocco. Deep into added time here at the end of the first half on TalkSport. Morocco trailing by 2-1. Now Ziyech, high in towards En-Nesyri. Gvardiol with a back header, and he was looking for Livakovic to come and claim that, and he eventually did under pressure from En-Nesyri.
Yeah, very similar to the first goal there that Croatia conceded. They were just backpedaling, and a header, instead of clearing it, it just left it in the danger zone on that occasion.
Croatia playing for half-time here, leading by 2-1. On TalkSport, we'll be round the grounds in the Championship and elsewhere during half-time. And if we don't go to extra time here, we'll be hearing from Marcel Desailly, the French legend, building up to the World Cup final in the final hour of the programme, before Jason Cundy and Gabi Agbonlahor take over at 6 o'clock, as a shot is deflected from the edge of the penalty area, and Yasin Bunu did well there to readjust and deny Levaya a third goal for Croatia.
It looks as though they got a slight problem here.
Another defender injured.
Dari gone down, and as I say, that is a position they can ill afford to lose a player in. Looks as though it's the top of the hamstring to me. Oh no, maybe groin area.
And of course, they already have Romain Saiz and Noussair Mazraoui as the players who are unavailable for this game. As the half-time whistle goes, and it's been very entertaining fare so far in this match. Croatia scoring early on thanks to Josko Gvardiol, equalised straight away by Ashraf Dari for Morocco. But a delicate lob just before half-time from Mislav Orsic has put Croatia on course for the third-place medal. At half-time, they lead by 2-1. Thank you, Alex. And a familiar face coming for Morocco to supporters of Queen's Park Rangers. Elias Chair is involved in the World Cup for the first time. He's come on for Abdelhamid Sabiri in the second half. Chair has been one of the young stars in Moroccan football for a couple of years now, but he's been used fairly sparingly by Walid Regragui. But he gets the opportunity here as Morocco get the second half underway on Talk Sport, trailing by 2-1. The Moroccan team is now Bounou in goal, Hakimi, El Yamik, Dari and Atiat Allah, the back four. In midfield it is now Chair, Amrabat and El Kanous, with Ziyech and Boufal supporting Endesiri. The Croatian team, Lavakovic in goal, Stanisic, Sutalo, Gvardiol are the back four, along with Maya, Perisic I should say, Kovacic, Maya and Modric in midfield, Kramaric, Lavia and Orsic leading their attack. And good to see another EFL player involved in the World Cup, Stuart.
Yeah, it is. It looks to me as though he's come on this right-hand side, and Ziyech is just, well, playing more of a, I wouldn't say a central midfield player, but almost an inside right at the moment.
Croatia playing from right to left as we look out from our position here in Doha. And Luka Modric wins the first free kick of the second half for Croatia, just bowled over in the midfield area. He takes it quickly wide to this near side, and Perisic, who brings it down infield to Orsic, who gave Croatia the lead before half-time. Orsic goes for goal and he ripples the outside of the netting this time, and it took a touch on the way through. It's a corner, but many Croatian fans inside the stadium thought that Orsic had made it 3-1.
I've got to say, top defending there by El Yamik. I mean, it's driven at him. You're doing your best this day and age to keep your hands away from the ball, and he just sort of turned his back and shoved his back out at the same time, just deflected it into the side netting. Very good play.
First corner in the second half here for Croatia, which will be taken by Luka Modric. It's an in-swinger towards the near post, headed away well by Endesiri, the tallest player in the Moroccan team, and it will be another corner. Croatia leading here by 2-1. A reminder, over on Talk Sport 2, 0-0 at half-time between Burnley and Middlesbrough. Commentary continues on that game, followed by Norwich against Blackburn at 5:30. Modric with another corner into the near post, headed away this time by Ziyech, played back into the area by Orsic, headed away by El Yamik, and then Endesiri nips in ahead of Lavia, and Morocco now can break. They 5 forward in this attack, wide on the left-hand side, and it's Hakimi popping up in an unfamiliar position. Now he checks in field to find Amrabat, and it has given Croatia the opportunity to reset here. But now Boufal coming in field down the left to find Ziyech in a pocket of space 25 yards out, and he kills a brilliant ball wide to the far side, and Atiat Allah, who on the stretch is just unable to control it, and it's swooped on by Lavakovic.
Yeah, I think they've just dropped Ziyech just in, so it's almost Amrabat as the holder, with Ziyech playing just advanced as him on the right, and El Kanous playing just onto the left. And if all those pronunciations are right, Nigel,
yeah,
I'll be
spot
astounded.
on, absolutely spot on, Stuart. And Stuart's been doing his homework for the final tomorrow, 1 o'clock on Talk Sport. Argentina against France, and our team already inside the stadium. And there's been another goal in the Championship between Coventry and Swansea. Here's Jeff Peters.
And it's come a couple of minutes into the second half. Coventry have doubled their lead against Swansea here. Jamie Allen from the edge of the penalty area, left-footed, beautiful curler, stunning goal. Coventry 2, Swansea 0.
Thank you, Jeff. So it's been a difficult time for Swansea, but they are on the way to 3 points early in the second half there today, as Croatia come forward now, leading by 2-1, heading for the bronze medal in this World Cup after silver against the French 4 years ago. It has been a sustained period of success for the Croatians. They've also got the finals of the Nations League to look forward to early next year, and they continue to churn out so many fine players to enhance so many big clubs in Europe, as Morocco have it now with Amrabat inside the centre circle, and Boufal has been given room to turn by Maya, who has often found the game passing him by at the moment at the heart of the Croatian midfield. Morocco neat and tidy in possession once again. Here is El Yamik, only playing his first season at the highest level in Spain with Real Valladolid, but he's been one of Morocco's defensive stars in this World Cup. And now the 18-year-old who is making his international debut, El Kanous, looks to play it forward down the right, but this time Morocco aren't able to profit, and Croatia can break now as it's played wide to Perisic on their left-hand side. He's quick enough to keep the ball in play. Now has support from Orsic, neatly infield towards Maya, who fizzes in the cross, and it's flicked on by Kramaric at the near post, but it's wide. But it was really good football from Croatia.
Yeah, it certainly was. Probably their best phase of passing, I've got to say. And Maya on that occasion whipped a beautiful ball in, and it was just deflected behind for a corner, but not given as a corner.
Ashraf Dari clearly got the final touch, but Abdul Rahman Al Jassim, our Qatari referee, giving the goal kick. Here is Ziyech now for Morocco. 51 minutes played here on TalkSport. Croatia leading by 2-1. The only goal so far in the second half in our feature games. We just heard about it. Jamie Allen for Coventry, doubling their lead against Swansea. Still goalless over on TalkSport 2 at Turf Moor. Michael Carrick has done a really good job so far in the early days as Middlesbrough manager, as En-Nesyri chasing a long ball forward now, brings it down on his chest, but really good defending by Ivan Perisic just to lever him into the wider area and guide the ball behind.
Yeah, Perisic there, great run by En-Nesyri, just burst into the box, and Perisic just got across the front of him. Knew full well he could let the ball go as long as he maintained his position. Good defensive work.
Now Gvardiol wide to the far side again, and Sotalo, and the central defender choosing to roam forward. He finds Perisic now down the left, who's playing in a slightly deeper role today in the absence of the injured Borna Sosa. Both of the first choice fullbacks for Croatia unavailable due to injury. Celtic's Josip Juranovic picked up a calf injury in the semi-final defeat against Argentina. Played on with it for a long time, but of course has not been risked in this game here today. Now Modric maybe thinks about a pass down the right, checks back, thinks better of it, and here is Gvardiol over the halfway line now, wide to this near side, and Perisic, who rides the challenge of Hakimi, and Perisic has got support in field. Here is Kovacic on the edge of the penalty area. The challenge comes in, but Maya gathers, lofts the ball across the face of goal. It's headed away by Dari. More untidy defending from Morocco. They can see the corner, but it could have been so much worse.
Well, chaotic defending then. Goalkeeper tempted out. It was a good play initially there. Kovacic through the heart of the defence. Maya's pulled across the face of goal. I think it was Dari. Ended up, well, I don't know what he was doing, where he was heading it, to be honest with you, unless it was too much spin on the ball.
There has been a goal in our commentary game over on TalkSport 2, and it's Middlesbrough who lead at the Championship leaders Burnley. Duncan Watmore with the early goal in the second half. Commentary continues with Adam Bridge and Neil Redfern before Ollie Klink and Adrian Clark bring you Norwich against Blackburn, fourth against third from Carrow Road at 5:30, also on TalkSport 2. Corner kick here for Croatia, and Modric will take it once again, arms outstretched. maybe looking for movement inside the penalty area. Plays it short in the end to Lovro Majer. Crossed in from him, left-footed towards the far side. Two Croatians were waiting for it. Neither was able to fire the shot in, and eventually it's lofted over the top. And there's a problem here for Levaya, the Croatian player. I think he was kicked by his teammate inside the area there.
Yeah, I think he was. I don't know whether he was kicked by him or he kicked his teammate. Either way, looks rather uncomfortable.
54 minutes played on TalkSport. Wall-to-wall World Cup coverage continuing with Croatia leading Morocco by 2-1. Kovacic with the ball forward now into the penalty area, wide on the far side. Kramaric looking to turn in field, but he's robbed, and the pace of Atiat Ali will bring it clear. He's then fouled by Lovro Majer. Cynical challenge, and it will be a free kick for Morocco. Another goal in the game between Coventry and Swansea. Here's TalkSport's Jeff Peters.
It's now Coventry 3, Swansea 0. They are so dominant in this game. Victor Gyökeres just got himself onto the score sheet. Calm finish from the edge of the penalty area, in off the post. 10th league goal of the season. Coventry 3, Swansea 0.
And there is a change here for Morocco. Azzedine Ounahi has come on for Bilal El Kanous. Ounahi has been really good for Morocco as an attacking midfielder, playing down the right in this tournament. Plays for Angers at the bottom of Ligue 1, but he looks to be another player who will be moving on maybe even as soon as January. The Angers owner was saying during the World Cup that his phone's been ringing off the hook due to the interest following the performances from Ounahi.
Sounds like an owner that wants to generate some money, Nigel.
Yeah, he's not exactly issuing a hands-off, is he? Here is Ounahi now on the halfway line, back in tandem with Hakimi and Ziyech, and they were so dangerous in the French game. Now Ziyech plays the ball infield towards Hakimi inside the penalty area, but a good challenge from Majer just to win it back as Hakimi was bearing down on goal. But now Hakimi has given the ball away to Levaya, and Croatia could break here, but Majer was caught. But it may be the earlier challenge which has led to a free kick by Ounahi, and play is halted once again. Croatia leading here by 2-1. A reminder, Middlesbrough a goal up at Burnley over on TalkSport 2. The Carabao Cup returns on Tuesday on TalkSport. Newcastle against Bournemouth. Wednesday, Manchester United against Blackburn. Then on Thursday, Manchester City against Liverpool. And the TalkSport network, the only place to listen to the return of the Premier League on Boxing Day. We will have commentary on all 10 games from that Boxing Day round across the holiday period, and there will be 10 games in full on Boxing Day across the TalkSport network. Now Croatia come forward again, but a cross in from Kramaric on the far side is gathered by Bunu, and then the flag does belatedly go up to show he was offside. And when we get all the holiday football out of the way, we will also have 9 commentaries from the FA Cup third round in early January. First goal of the day at the John Smiths. Mark Wilson.
54 gone, Huddersfield 0, Watford 1. Watford seal it with João Pedro, a brilliant break, but Deli Bashura leading it into Pedro, right of the area, a powerful finish. Huddersfield 0, Watford 1.
Apologies to John Dunn, but a good big goal there for Huddersfield as a high ball is played wide to this near side, and Hakimi back towards Ziyech. It's scooped towards the edge of the penalty area, and again Croatia are just happy to sit in deep and repel at the moment. Kramaric is still down as a result of the earlier run and cross into the penalty area before we headed to Huddersfield a few moments ago, so Croatia may need to make some changes here fairly quickly. But here is Boufal coming forward, and support wide on the left hand side. Checks back in field, he's been robbed by Kovacic, but now the cross is played in and it's volleyed clear by Gvardiol. Now Bristol City 1, Stoke City 2. Jacob Brown has given Stoke the lead at Ashton Gate, and Kramaric, it seems here, will need to be replaced.
Yeah, Kramaric went down earlier, and one or two of the Croatian players not too happy that play wasn't stopped, but credit to the referee. You can't, there is a directive that it's only head injuries you get stopped for, but sadly that's gone out the game.
Kramaric looks to be in some trouble here, and it's the right hamstring which could be the problem. And I'm sure that his club, Hoffenheim, won't be too impressed to see him struggling with an injury problem at this stage of the World Cup. But that's often the way it is. So there's a break in play at the moment here on TalkSport. A reminder, Burnley trailing Middlesbrough over on TalkSport 2 by 1-0. We have the World Cup final coming up tomorrow from 1 o'clock here on TalkSport with Adrian Durham, Stuart Pearce and Jim Proudfoot. Argentina against France. So many stories heading into that game. And we will have them all for you live from the Lusail Stadium. And Andre Kramaric looks to be in some trouble here as he hobbles off towards this near side. And surely he will be replaced, and it's Nikola Vlasic on loan from West Ham at Torino who will come on, and Kramaric in tears.
He is very distraught. He must know, either disappointed that he's not going to finish this game, or devastated by the nature of the injury. I don't one or the other.
Kramaric comes across to this near side after all of that. Morocco have a corner kick, an outswinger from Ziyech in towards the 6-yard area. Cleared away though by Sotalo. Here is Atiatala. He tries to play in Ziyech, but it's cut out by Modric. And now, even with 10 players, Croatia look to break, but Maya just checking back. Once again, not trusting his pace on the far side, but Kovacic slides in to recover possession before Morocco are penalised for a challenge on Maya. And it will be a Croatian free kick, and Vlasic will come on. And of course, he is a player that you've worked with, Stuart, on a fairly long period.
Yeah, we had Nico with us at West Ham last year. He's just gone out on loan to Torino, I think. And for a bit of background as well, I think he's got a sister who's either an Olympic champion or a world champion at high jump, which is hard to believe because Nico's about 5'7".
He's on the ball now on the far side, holds off Amrabat and goes beyond Atiatala towards the penalty area, and he eventually runs out of room, and it will be a goal kick for Morocco. Let's go to Deepdale now in the Championship, and Dave Rowe.
Preston 0, QPR 1. QPR deservedly in front. Jimmy Dunn is claiming the final touch. A real crowd in the 6-yard box from Kenneth Powell's corner, and Dunn got a connection onto it. The ball bounced off the underside of the bar and just over the line. Preston 0, QPR 1.
Big goal for Queen's Park Rangers under new management as Yassine Bounou clears downfield here. And Jimmy Dunn, former Burnley player, scoring at Preston today. Now Unahi for Morocco, trailing by 2-1 in this third place playoff at the 2022 World Cup. And we have played 62 minutes here, and the game has not quite replicated the fireworks we saw for much of the first half. But here is Ziyech in towards Unahi, right-hand side of the penalty area for Morocco. And again, he pokes it back looking for Ziyech, and the execution not quite right. And Maya brings the ball away for Croatia. Flicked infield by Gvardiol. Back towards Maya again. He plays it beyond Lavaya into the penalty area where it's gathered by Bounou.
Yeah, that theme of Morocco got into really good advanced areas down the right hand side, good interchange between three players, and then all of a sudden it's that final pass or lack of a final cross that has let them down. Certainly that was the case in the last game.
They're not the only team to maybe be crying out for a consistent centre forward in this tournament, although maybe they have one at end of series, but he needs consistent service.
Well, I think that's nearer the point, to be quite honest with you, Nigel. I think he's a centre forward that is fantastic in the air, but I've not seen enough final passes come in the box to give him something to get after. And I think we're just seeing Dari down, is it, who's went down earlier.
Yep, he's down injured, but change is now being made. Dari is hobbling off, another defender going off. Sofiane Boufal is also making way, and we will see for the first time in this World Cup Burnley's Anas Zarari. He comes on for his first appearance, came late into the squad to replace the injured Amit Hari, and Badia Banoun, who plays in Qatar for Qatar Sports Club, will come on. also to replace the injured Ashraf Dari. So Morocco have turned to the championship in the second half. Elias Chair of Queen's Park Rangers and Burnley's Anas Zarari coming on. And Zarari having a very good season for Burnley, 6 goals before the World Cup. Of course, his club are currently trailing by a goal to nil in our commentary game over on TalkSport 2, but Elias Chair, Queen's Park Rangers, are currently a goal up away to Preston as Gvardiol steps in again to win it back. More goals going in League One. Charlton 1, Bristol Rovers 1, an equaliser for John Marquis for Joey Barton's team. And West Brom have doubled their lead. Grady Diangana with a second at home to Rotherham. Unahi coming forward now for Morocco, trailing by 2 goals to 1 here. Now Hakimi has support from Zayes down the right, clips the cross into the penalty area, and challenging this time was En-Nesyri, but he was denied by Sotalo. But Morocco quickly win it back here, and they have so many attacking players on the field now. With 25 minutes to play, you feel they have to attack, and they're doing so now. On the far side was Zarari, but the cross is too deep onto the roof of the netting. It will be a goal kick.
Yeah, it's one of the very few times they've got good quality into the box, and Naziri's eyes lit up there, but good defending.
Mario Pasalic of Atalanta will be coming on to win his 50th cap. And while changes are made, there's been a red card at the MKM. Hull against Sunderland with Mark Wilson.
Yes, Hull 0, Sunderland 0, but Sunderland down to 10 men. Elliot Embledon sent off after a high challenge on the far side. He's actually been sent off while on a stretch. He's been stretched off. He's been subbed off, but Sunderland down to 10. That came as well. Earlier on, Hull missed a penalty. Estepinian from the spot fired wide. Hull 0, Sunderland 0.
Cheers, Mark. Double change here for Croatia. Bruno Petkovic and Mario Pasalic are the players who have come on. And Levaya and Maya are players who have gone off. So Zlatko Dalic just changing up his midfield area, and another Moroccan defender is down injured here, and this time it's Jawad El Yamik, and he's shaking his head towards the bench, and they are running out of defenders here very quickly. Already, of course, they had very slim resources coming into this game, and they're forced into yet another change here.
This is just incredible, the amount of defenders that Morocco have lost at this tournament. I mean, just going into this game alone, Nigel, they had three players out injured defensively, and 2 more have come off injured in this game alone.
And the change has been made, and it's a player we did see in the previous game, Amala, coming on to replace El Yamik. He was a player who did pretty well during that game, but at the moment Walid Regragui may be seeing the issues created by a long tournament, the intensity of the tournament, and clearly hamstrings are just beginning to maybe pay the price for that. There's been another goal at the Cardiff City Stadium. Here's Chris Hull.
Yes, we've had 67 minutes. Incredibly, it's Cardiff City 1, Blackpool 1. This goal for Blackpool has come from absolutely nowhere. And of course it goes to Gary Medine, who had 2 years here at Cardiff and didn't score a goal, but he heads one in from 6 yards. It's Cardiff 1, Blackpool 1.
Well, he's often called Gary Medine goal machine by fans of his clubs, but he wasn't at Cardiff, but he has scored a goal at the Cardiff City Stadium today. More goals going in, only 2 games in League 2 today, but Orient leads Sutton by a goal to nil thanks to Paul Smith, and Portsmouth 0, MK Dons 2. Jack Tucker with the second there. Pompey were booed off at half time, and maybe pressure just beginning to build on Danny Cowley at Fratton Park. MK Dons, of course, have made a managerial change, and they are on the way to 3 points today. The place for goals, though, is Coventry. Here's Jeff Peters.
Yes, Swansea got a goal back here. It's 3-1 to Coventry. Joel Pirot has scored it for the visitors with still over 20 minutes to play. Tapped in from close range. It's Coventry 3, Swansea 1.
And Manuel Benson has equalised in our commentary game over on TalkSport 2. Burnley 1, Middlesbrough 1 is the score there, with Norwich coming up at home to Blackburn at 5:30. And this game has rather developed into a slow burner at the moment. 69 minutes played, and Croatia are comfortably holding Morocco at bay.
Yeah, I think the importance now, you start to see the importance of people like Modric on the pitch. You give him the ball and he makes all the right decisions, keeps the ball when it's needed.
But here is Elias Chair for Morocco. Left-hand side of the penalty area, delivers the cross in, but it's headed away again at the near post by Sotalo. He's had a decent game alongside Gvardiol. But Morocco with Chair again. Another cross into the penalty area, volleyed away at the far post. And then Sotalo has the opportunity to clear the ball away with more comfort, finds Stanisic, and he was closed down there by Zerari of Burnley, and it will be a throw-in, or rather a goal kick to Croatia on the far side with 20 minutes to play, and Croatia here are inching towards the bronze medal as it stands, and yet another victory for Europe in the third place playoff. And you've got to have a degree of sympathy for Walid Regragui, because he would have had a plan at half-time. We've seen he's the sort of coach who does that, but injuries have completely wrecked it.
Well, they wrecked his semi-final, if truth be known, Nigel, you know, losing 3 players before half-time through injury and pre-match is just ludicrous.
Big goal at the top of League One. Plymouth lead Morecambe by a goal to nil, thanks to Niall Ennis, as a shot is fired in here for Croatia, but it's over the top from Vlasic. David McGoldrick with a second for Derby. They lead 3-0 against Forest Green. And Manuel Benson has scored again. Burnley have turned things around over on TalkSport 2. They now lead Middlesbrough by 2 goals to 1. And Vlasic not too far away from a third goal here for Croatia. But they remain only 2-1 leaders here. But they've had 12 attempts on goal, Croatia, with 4 on target. Morocco have had 3, and the only one on target, their goal, scored by the now departed Ashraf Dari. And Unahi was booked a few moments ago for Morocco. First yellow card of the day, but their supporters continue to sing and get behind their team. It's been an incredible experience for the fans of the Atlas Lions, but at the moment they look set to finish in 4th place.
Well, I've got to say, Nigel, both teams look as though they're running on empty, but the fans certainly don't, that is for sure. The energy on the terrace is incredible, especially from these Moroccan fans.
And the fans are a long way from the pitch here due to the running track, but the volume is still considerable as Hakimi clears the ball away from Morocco on this near side. Now Ziyech with an interesting ball back to his goalkeeper Yassine Bounou. I'm not sure he was the intended target, but he brings the ball down on his chest and then clears the ball away on the far side. Here is Amrabat, a short ball square to Benoun, and now Hakimi with the ball forward, and the series continuing to chase. He often gets taken off at this stage of a game in the series, but I don't think that Morocco have got any more players left.
No, I thought I just saw as Amrabat dropped into the back line now, playing centre back.
They have officially run out of defenders, Morocco,
which is incredible.
Now a cross delivered by Atiatalu. It was deflected on the far side, headed away by Modric, who was back there defending. And now Stanisic with a long ball forward, and Bounou outside his penalty area is able to bring the ball down on his chest and find Benoun. Wide towards Hakimi on this near side, and a real mix of clubs on the field for Morocco at the moment. They have the big names, of course, the big clubs like Paris Saint-Germain, but Burnley, Queen's Park Rangers, Qatar Sports, Angers. But they all play for their team, they all play for the coach, they all play for the fans. But a rush challenge on this near side by Benoun on Petkovic, and Morocco concede another free kick. Modric forward to this near side, cut out though by Hakimi. Now Unahi, and there is space for Ziyech into the penalty area. He goes looking for En-Nesyri, but it's cut out again. And Gvardiol leading the breakaway for Croatia. Wide to this near side, and Petkovic, who brings the ball down on his chest and finds Orsic. Orsic into the penalty for Gvardiol. He goes down under the challenge of Amrabat, who was caught on the wrong side, but the referee waves away the appeals.
Gvardiol got up to his haunches, appealed for the penalty, and then decided he had a bad back and lied down again.
Now Ziyech into the penalty area for Hakimi. Hakimi's still going, but eventually he's crowded out. And yet again, it is Luka Modric with the desperate defending inside the 6-yard area.
Well, I go back to that point about he does all the right things at the right time. His central defender had shot up the pitch and burst into the opposition's box. And who was covering? Modric.
Well, Zlatko Dalic looking for a penalty there, but nothing given. Ash Taylor has pulled the goal back for Kilmarnock at Hearts in Scotland. They now trail 2-1. Here is Chair for Morocco. Flighting the cross in, it'll fall to end the series. The shot blocked by Livakovic. Two Croatian players going for the same ball, and then the series kept out by Livakovic. Now Ashraf Hakimi goes down on the edge of the penalty area, and again the referee waves away the appeals, and the referee now has gone to potentially VAR here. Hakimi claiming he was fouled, and there is no doubt that the VAR official Julio Basushan of Chile is talking to Abdulrahman Al Yassim of Qatar.
Well, you got both sets of players. One won a penalty up the other end for Guardiola. I think that was outside the box. That won't be overturned.
Now it's Petkovic with a shove on Hakimi. Probably was a foul, even though it was outside the box. But are they looking at the situation at the other end of the stadium? Nothing has appeared on our screens at the moment to indicate there is a check.
I'll tell you what, the referee's done brilliant there. Classic dive, I think I'd say.
Well, they've looked at both situations and they've waved away the appeals, and I think that he got both decisions right there. But at times now the referee's not finding this the easiest game to officiate, and the players aren't really helping him out here.
Well, one of the worst players I think you can ever get to be on the pitch if you're refereeing is Hakimi. I've seen him round referees more than any player at this World Cup, I've got to say.
14 minutes to play. Croatia still leading here by 2-1, but Morocco are pushing hard for the equalising goal. An own goal now from Johnny Howson over on TalkSport 2, and Burnley lead Middlesbrough by 1-0, having trailed by 3-1 rather, having trailed early in the second half. Charlton 1, Bristol Rovers 2 in League One. John Marquis with his second to turn things around at the Valley. And we're watching on our monitors the replays, and Guardiola untouched as he went down inside the penalty area. Now Hakimi plays it forward again, looking for Elias Chair, and there's been another goal in the game in the Championship between Coventry and Swansea. Jeff Peters.
It's now Coventry 3, Swansea 2. It is game on. 14 minutes to go. Jay Fulton hooking in from close range. Suddenly the Swansea fans in good voice here. 14 to play. It's Coventry 3, Swansea 2.
Thank you, Jeff. Still 2-1 to Croatia here. All the goals in the first half. It's a high ball is played forward again, looking for Petkovic, but it's guided back by Atiat Allah towards Bunu. And I think Croatia are just happy to sit in and play on the break now. And the question is, can Morocco do what they couldn't do in the semi-final and come up with an equalising goal?
Well, I think if we were in any uncertain terms about the intensity of this game, it's certainly been put to bed now, because both teams, especially Morocco, are chasing it. There's tired legs out there, but both teams are desperate to get back in the game or hold on to their league.
Kovacic with a challenge on his Chelsea teammate Ziyech. And we're looking again at the save from Livakovic, and it was a misplaced header from Vardiol, and a really good save on looking at the replay.
Tell you what, it's an outstanding save. Goalkeeper's come out, spread himself, and managed to get a right arm to it just to keep it out. But his advancement from as soon as Endaziri picked it up was the main thing that cut the distance down.
West Brom 3, Rotherham 0 in the Championship. Brandon Thomas Asante with the third. Orsic with a cross in here, claimed by Bunu. And Devante Cole with his second for Barnsley. They lead Burton by 2-0. Modric again, working so hard to win the ball back inside the Moroccan half, and now it's played wide to this near side, and the ball was behind Perisic. It's a throw in to Morocco, but before that, Modric, at the age of 37, giving absolutely everything here for his bronze medal.
What he's done for the team, you know what he can do in possession, that goes there before him, it has for a couple of decades. It's what he's doing now in this game, out of possession, covering for players, making challenges, making interceptions, is what makes him a world-class performer.
And he's still at it, even at the veteran status. Morocco continue to pour forward here in search of the equalising goal. It's Benoun. Wide to Ziyech on this near side, the right. Hakimi takes over. He tries to thread the eye of the needle, but again it was Modric who was in the way, but Hakimi can win it back and find Unahi. And here is Ziyech. Into the final 10 minutes now on TalkSport. Croatia leading Morocco by 2-1. Ziyech with a high ball in beyond the far post and Elias Chair, and it will be a goal kick. And Morocco again, a similar story to Wednesday night, just lacking that final ball into the penalty area. And Wally Grogegi is making that point with a good deal of animation inside the technical area. But all the noise is Moroccan noise inside the stadium. And their fans are determined to go out with a bang here. And there has been a goal at the MKM in the Championship. Here's Mark Wilson.
It's Hull 0, 10-man Sunderland 1. Ross Stewart back after 15 games out. Long ball over the top. Keeper came, then went back. Stewart just rolled it calmly past him. Hull 0, Sunderland 1.
Hull's problems at home could be set to continue there. There's Petkovic here for Croatia. Plays it into the centre circle. Satalo, given the time to move forward, it's wide towards the far side, and Stanisic, and all the way back from Gvardiol towards the goalkeeper Lavakovic. Ross Stewart back after a lengthy spell on the sidelines for Sunderland with the opening goal there in the Championship. A reminder, Burnley leading 3-1 against Middlesbrough over on TalkSport 2, with Norwich against Blackburn coming up. Pasalic for Croatia. It's worked wide towards Petkovic, left-hand side of the penalty area. Low left-footed ball in is blocked at the near post by Benoun, and a corner kick has been given.
Yeah, there's some tired legs out there now. Some defenders going to ground a bit cheaply. A suspicion of handball there, but the referee right on top of it. And credit to Petkovic, didn't appeal.
No, it was a trailing arm from Benoun, but it was very close to his body as he lunged in inside the penalty area. Corner number 6 for Croatia. The referee just having words with Sofyan Amrabat inside the box. Croatia looking for the goal here, which will seal third place. Orsic with a delivery, high to the far post, headed away though unchallenged on the edge of the penalty area. Now Stanisic will go all the way back towards Lavakovic once again. He clears long downfield for the Croats. Perisic will flick the ball on, clever touch as well, because he knew that Orsic was in behind, but Amrabat again just doing what he's done so well in the tournament, coming across to ensure that the opponent went no further forward, and it's a throw-in for the Croatians.
This fella's been an absolute colossus, Nigel Amrabat, for the Moroccans the whole tournament. He's dropped into the back line and playing equally as well there as he did in midfield, you know. He's been absolutely incredible, and not once players have dropped off, players have got injured, and he's been there, plays the 90 minutes every time.
Ali Crawford with 2 goals in 2 minutes for St Johnstone, and they now lead at Ross County late in the game by 2-1. 2-1 to Croatia here. Here is Che for Morocco. Infield to Unahi. And Hakimi takes over down the right. Can Morocco force extra time here? Ball flicked high into the penalty area via a deflection from Pasalic from Ziyech, but once again Croatia are able to get the ball away, and Petkovic, who scored their late equaliser against Brazil, working hard, and Amala is penalised for a foul, and his protests lead to a yellow card for dissent. And they are bumping and pushing the referee here, Morocco, and they need to be very, very careful, because the referee here, I think, could be offering a second yellow card to Amala because he was booked and then carried on the protest.
I wonder whether something's happened off the ball there. The linesman's come on the pitch, so I don't know whether he's seen something in the melee. It's probably one of the only unsavoury things about the Moroccans. Every time a decision goes against them, there's 4 or 5 players around the referee. And to be honest with you, I think they've got a case. I'm not really seeing that as a free kick.
No, it was a harsh decision, but the protest from Selim Amala leading to the yellow card. The referee now talking to Benoun, and the cards are out once again here. We'll just see. The yellow card is going to be shown to Benoun. Petkovic was also involved in that. As we go back to one of the games of the day between Coventry and Swansea in the Championship. Jeff Peters.
Extraordinary game. Coventry 3, Swansea 3. Swansea were 3-0 down. Liam Cullen has just come off the bench and converted from close range. We are all square. The momentum is all with Swansea. They were dead and buried. 6 minutes to play. Coventry 3, Swansea 3.
Wow, what a game. Orient 2, Sutton 0 in League 2. An own goal from Ali Smith, and Plymouth lead Morecambe by 2 goals to 1 thanks to Sam Cosgrove in League 1. Here, Croatia still leading by 2 goals to 1. I think Amala was the only player shown a yellow card at the end of that melee involving so many Moroccan players, as the ball is run out of play by Pasalic on the far side, that it will be a throw-in for Morocco. But they're running out of time here. 86 minutes on the clock, trailing by 2 goals to 1. And after so much hard work, so much endeavour and plenty of skill, Morocco looks set to leave the World Cup empty-handed, but they have won millions of new supporters with their achievements in this competition. And African football as a whole now has the responsibility of looking to build on them. Vardian moving forward now for Croatia. Left-footed ball high downfield, taken down on the thigh by Petkovic, who looks for runners in behind. Pasalic was one of them, but further forward there was an opportunity now for Kovacic inside the penalty. Wriggles away from the challenge, but with a clear sight of goal, he puts it wide.
Done really well arriving there, great supporting run, but when he got in with the opportunity, just very tired legs, really was. And the only chance he had, it was Amrabat on the recovery, and he was fortunate he didn't get a touch on that, because I think he'd have directed it in his own goal.
So Morocco are still alive here. 87 minutes played on TalkSport. They lead, or rather Croatia lead by 2 goals to 1. Now a high ball played forward towards Elias Chair, tries to find En-Nesyri inside the area, but Stanisic able to guide it back to Livakovic, and the flag is raised for offside. A reminder, coming up tomorrow, 1 o'clock on TalkSport, the World Cup final with Stuart, Jim and Adrian. Argentina against France will be building up all day. Wall-to-wall coverage on TalkSport. Later on tonight, 5:30 on TalkSport 2. Norwich against Blackburn, with Burnley leading Middlesbrough by 3 goals to 1 currently over on 2. And there have been plenty of goals in the second half in the Championship. Another one at the MKM. Here's Mark Wilson.
It's Hull 1, Sunderland 1. Ozan Tufan on as a sub. Lovely ball over the top from Woods. Tufan just stretched out and poked it into the back of the net. We've got about 10 minutes left. Hull 1, Sunderland 1.
So the 10 men may be denied there. Free kick here for Morocco. Running out of time. Trailing by 2 goals to 1. Here is Amala. Wide on the far side. Atiatala, who has not really got forward as much as I'm sure he would have liked to in the second half, but he will do now, and he's been pulled back, and it will be a free kick. Amala, the player who was eventually fouled for Morocco on the far side, will be off to the John Smiths again in a second, but first of all, Morocco have a free kick wide on the left-hand side, and they've got to load the penalty area here, Stuart.
Yeah, they certainly have. holding a really high line, Croatia, I've got to say, and make sure that Morocco time their runs. En-Nesyri pulling out the furthest wide.
Zayas with the free kick into the penalty area, again doesn't beat the first man, and Croatia will clear. So let's go to John Dunn at the John Smiths.
5 minutes remaining. Watford should have sealed it. Huddersfield 0, Watford 2. João Pedro again, a glancing header from a Ken Sema corner. Huddersfield 0, Watford 2.
Thanks, John. So Huddersfield will remain rooted to the bottom of the table. Hat-trick for David McGoldrick. For Derby, they lead Forest Green 4-0. And Laura Shanklin with a penalty has put Hearts 3-1 up against Kilmarnock in Scotland. Free kick here again for Morocco. And they again will send everybody forward, but Ziyech has got to offer more delivery, or better delivery than what we've seen so far.
Well, where he is now, I'm just going to say you've got to get the ball wide and create an angle, and Amrabat's done exactly that.
Hakimi with the ball in, appeals for a penalty inside the penalty area. Amala, the player who went down, the ball still alive. And here is Unahi on the edge of the box. A square of him is Ziyech. Unahi maybe thought about the shot, gives it to Ziyech. Ziyech left-footed high over the top onto the running track.
Yeah, it's a feature of their game, Morocco, that's let them down a little bit. It's just that final pass into the box.
But again, the referee is talking to the VAR.
Tell you what, this will be interesting.
Petkovic with an arm onto the shoulder of Banoun inside the penalty area. That was En-Nesyri. And the question is,
I tell you what, you put your arm on someone else's shoulder, you know full well they can't leave the ground. And to me, well, he won't give a penalty, but...
Well, Morecambe have pulled one back late on against Plymouth. They trailed 2-1. Anthony O'Connor down in Devon, here in Doha. Croatia heading towards the bronze medal, leading by 2-1. And we are into an additional 6 more minutes here.
Well, one thing you will know is the Moroccans will not give up with their endeavour to force this equaliser.
Free kick on the far side for Morocco. But the throw-in was given in the end, and here is Unahi. Wide to this near side of Amrabat, who will leave his defensive post and play a high ball forward. En-Nesyri tries to flick on for Ziyech inside the area, but again the flag is raised belatedly, and it will be a free kick for Croatia. And they have made hard work of this in the second half at times, the Croats. They've had chances to finish Morocco off, but just been a lack of precision. And Novakovic taking as much time as he can over this free kick. Europe's stranglehold on the third place playoff at World Cups looks set to continue here. This will be an 11th successive victory. Connor Roberts has been sent off late on for Burnley over on TalkSport 2 for deliberate handball. 3-1. Burnley still lead against Middlesbrough though. Morocco in the red shirts have so many forward now. Amrabat looks upfield from just inside the Moroccan half and then goes beyond Orsic and plays it wide towards Atiatala. Back again. And the low ball into the penalty area intended for Elias Chair is cleared away, but Amala wins it back. A deeper crossing this time, looking for En-Nesyri. Headed away by Sotalo. But Morocco will keep it alive with Unahi on this near side. Unahi pokes it towards the edge of the penalty. He goes down, wants the free kick, but nothing given by the referee. But he gets back to his feet because Morocco still have the ball. Banoun, square to the far side, and Amrabat. Now Atiatala. We are 3 minutes into the additional 6 added minutes here on TalkSport. Croatia 2, Morocco 1. Ziyech beyond Petkovic, crossed into the penalty area. Vardiol with the clearance, but again Morocco will win it back with Amala. Now Atiatala, wide towards the far side. And Zerari with the crossing, claimed well at the near post by Novakovic.
They got 4 or 5 players in between the goalposts there, Morocco, and the cross was a really, really poor one, you know, straight into the goalkeeper's hands.
Livakovic again will take his time. Croatia edging towards the bronze medal here. High ball forward again, over the head of Pasalic, who then wins the second ball. But Morocco quickly retrieve it. Atiat Allah forward towards Amala, back towards Atiat Allah again. Now Amrabat, they've got to go long, and they do go long. Right to this near side, Hakimi will sprint, but he's unable to keep the ball in play, and it will be a goal kick, and that might be that.
Almost your perfect pass there from Amrabat, that man again, trying to take things into his own hands. Big a raking 60-yard pass, just a couple of yards over here.
And Croatia are about to make a change. Christian Jakic of Eintracht Frankfurt will come on for Mislav Orsic. At the moment, he is the match winner here, thanks to that dinky chip in the first half over the head of Yasin Bunu. And Orsic does have a habit of scoring high-profile goals. English clubs can talk about the ones against them in Europe for Dynamo Zagreb in the last couple of years, as Amanda was fouled just inside the Moroccan half, and they have a free kick quickly forward towards En-Nesyri, but he's robbed, but it's won back by Amrabat. Now a high ball swung wide to the far side by Ziyech. Atiat Allah brings the ball under control. Can he deliver a cross into the penalty area? He can. And the series header is over the top, and he was inches away from the equalising goal.
Well, it's the first time, Nige, they've stood a ball up and said, come and attack it, and the leap this kid's got is unbelievable. And he's done everything by get it probably about a foot lower. He's headed it back where it's come from. Goalkeeper flat-footed, no chance. Just on the roof of the net.
Well, Perisic there was absolutely flabbergasted at just how high En-Nesyri got. But it's all over. Once again, Croatia finish on the podium. And at the age of 37, Luka Modric departs a World Cup with a medal. And it's richly deserved. He was magnificent for Croatia today. And yet again, there is Moroccan disappointment. They've made history, but they leave the World Cup empty-handed. It is finished. Croatia 2, Morocco 1.